Alright guys, so with trapping season coming upon us here, I just want to take an opportunity and do a few videos on different questions that I get quite a bit in the comment section as I'm doing my on the line vlogs. Basically, one of the biggest questions and comments that I get is what kind of gloves do I wear? If for those of you who've been watching my videos for a while, you see I wear different styles of gloves, basically for the different applications that I'm doing. So I was in the hardware store the other day and I was picking up a couple new pairs of gloves for this season, and I thought, well, I'll just take the opportunity before they get all dirty and muddy and just kind of share with you what I use on the line. Now, I'm not one of the scent fanatics like some people, but I still think that you need to control your scent to a degree on the line. By that I mean, I wear two different pairs of gloves. One that I handle the critters with and just the general work on the line, and then I use a completely separate pair for strictly set making. So that's kind of where I'm at with the scent control. I'm not a big freak on it, but at the same time, whenever you're working with that trap right at the set, I think if you have a dedicated pair of gloves, that's somewhat important. So I'll just show you what I use. Now, this is all the gloves I use pretty much are they're the Kinco brand. And I basically use them because they're cheap. In the past, I've spent lots of money on gloves. They still don't really last. You're hard on this equipment. You're using it day in, day out. So, it's going to fatigue. It's going to break down. You might as well not spend a ton of money. I'll talk about that more whenever I talk about the gauntlets. But for the most part, this is the glove that I wear pretty much for my general purpose. It's the Kinco brand. It's called Frostbreaker. They come in like an orange and a green. It's a pretty heavy glove. It's got this nitrite coating on it, so you can get this glove on fairly easy. You still got quite a bit of dexterity with it. Just a general purpose for handling stuff on the line. Driving if I'm on the side by side, and if it's cold, just simply having gloves on your hand. So that's what I wear with that. Now, whenever it comes to the gloves that I wear for making sets, there's a lot of options out there, and I've tried a bunch of them. For instance, I've tried these rubber gloves here. These are more of a tight-fitting rubber gloves. They're great because you have excellent dexterity. The problem is they take a long time to put on. It's like putting on a rubber glove. I'll just kind of demonstrate. That takes a long time. Whenever it gets real cold outside, these gloves, they get hard, and they get hard to maneuver. And it's really just a pain. If I'm coming up to a set, I want to get my gloves on quick, I want to make the set, and I want to move on. So I've tried these. I'm not a big fan of them. Basically, what I went to and what I've been using for the last several years is this same brand, the Kinco brand here. And these are PVC coated work gloves. What they are, it's a knit glove that they just coated in PVC. So, you've got that kind of a scent factor, where, it's not like a leather glove. It's going to hold a bunch of scent. It's kind of got the similarities of a rubber glove. Now these here, they come in like a large and an extra large. I wear the large ones because I want a little bit more tight-fitting glove, because of the dexterity. I can move around. I keep these rolled up in my bag right there where I wear for my set making, and I only take them out just to make sets with. I don't handle critters after dispatch or anything like that with them. So you get these gloves, and the first thing you notice is they've got an inch or two of this knit material sticking out. Well, that's fine and dandy until you use them for about a week, and you're pulling these things on and off and on and off all the time, and it rolls up and it gets frayed. So the first thing I do with these, I take a pair of scissors and I cut it all the way back to where that PVC coating starts. And what that does is that kind of opens that glove up, and it lets you get these gloves on you know, real fast, real easy. Because as many of you know, speed and efficiency on the line is what puts more, you know, critters in the first shed. You don't want to be sitting there in a set, you know, taking 15 minutes to get your stuff ready and then make the set. It's just not productive. So these are the gloves that I wear for the majority of my set making. These here, I saved the receipt. They cost $3.99 at my local hardware store. So, you know, you don't have 20 bucks in a set of gloves. You know, if they get ruined or something like that, you pitch them out and you get a new set every year. Now, whenever it gets real cold out, you know, down in single digits and stuff, and you just need a warmer glove to wear, because, you know, there's not much insulation with these. I've got this old pair of insulated gloves. These are an Edmont brand. They're the winter category, and they're called the Monkey Grip. That's what they are. I've had these gloves for years. You can see here, show this where I've cut the nit off of it. These gloves are real easy to get on and off. I don't know what kind of insulation or material they use, but you can hold your hand in front of a propane, you know, liquid propane, and it won't burn your hands. So it's pretty good material. Keeps your hands, you know, nice and warm. Because around here we deal with basically cold, muddy conditions all year. So, you know, your hands are constantly muddy. So those are the three main gloves that I wear. Now, as far as you know, water trapping on the water line, that in itself dictates a different pair of gloves. Naturally, you're working deeper in the water, and you know, the tried and true is these gauntlet style gloves. You know, they're traditionally, you know, kind of shoulder length glove. Get your hand, you know, way down deep in the water, and you can keep your hand from getting wet. That's fine, but you know, these things are quite expensive. You know, you're looking at least 20 bucks for a pair of these gauntlet gloves. And the first time that you pinch a 1.5 right in that thumb and they start leaking, they're pretty much ruined. And that's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. You take a spring and poke a hole in it. Like I said, you set a trap, it pinches. They always fail right here at the thumb, and they all fail fairly quick. And I've tried all the different brands over the years, you know, as far as the expensive ones, the polar ones, and you know, these are more of a cheaper one. They're fine, but you're still spending money. Now, this is a shoulder length glove. It's a gauntlet style glove. You put this glove on, you can see I've got, you know, I can get my hand basically in water that deep. Well, if you kind of train yourself with your water sets, there's really no need for that. So this same brand of glove, the same brand that I'm talking about, this Kinco brand, they make a 18-inch glove. This is called extra long PVC coated work glove. It's basically the same material as what these gloves are, just it's got some added length to it. These gloves here, I just bought these. I paid $4.97 for them. Now I can justify $4.97. This is basically an elbow length glove, and 90% of the time you're never working in water that's deeper than elbow length. You know, if you need to get a drowner cable or something, grab a stick. For $5, I can buy 4 pairs of these gloves for the price of 1 pair of these gloves. And you know, these will fail. Once again, you know, first time you snap your thumb area or poke a spring through these, you know, you might as well throw them away, because you're not going to put your hand in water with leaking gloves. So it's just a little way to save money. These things work real well. You know, you take them, throw them in the bottom of the boat, do whatever. It's a $5 bill as opposed to a $20 bill. So anyway, that's kind of my wrap on what I use as far as gloves on the line. You know, I know a lot of guys talk leather gloves, and that's fine and dandy. Leather, as everybody knows, soaks up a lot of scent. I'm not crazy on leather gloves, not to mention they're pretty expensive. You know, for a decent pair of deerskin leather gloves, you're spending 20 bucks plus. You know, whereas right here, you know, I spent $9 on gloves the other day. I've got 2 good pairs of gloves for this year. These gloves here I've had for several seasons. These here are going on their 2nd season. You know, so it's an investment that kind of lasts, and it's cheap. So anyway, guys, I hope that answered a lot of your questions, or at least gave you some insight into what I use on the line. Like I said, I run line, you know, 75 plus days a year, every single day. and this stuff gets worked out, and this is what works for me. So hope you learned something. I hope you took something from it. Till next time, guys, thanks for all the support. Be safe out there.